It was bigger than any tank ever imagined, louder than an entire factory. Engineers claimed it could crush entire cities, reshape landscapes, and turn the tide of war. And then it vanished. No photos, no records, not destroyed in battle, just gone. The Allies called it a myth. Historians called it impossible, but the truth was far stranger. This is the story of the Nazi Doomsday Machine that disappeared. In the waning years of World War II, Germany was desperate. Defeat loomed. Conventional weapons weren't enough. Hitler demanded something new, something massive, something terrifying, a machine that could change the course of the war. And so, in secret factories deep in the German countryside, engineers began to dream bigger than anyone had ever dared. Steel, pistons, tracks wider than city streets, engines that roared like thunder. They weren't just building a weapon, they were building a legend. But ambition has a price, and not everyone survived the process. What emerged was unlike anything the world had seen. A land monster with tank-like armor, tracks that could crush buildings, cannons bigger than railway cars. It wasn't designed to move quickly. Speed was irrelevant. Power was everything. Hundreds of engineers worked day and night. Designs were redrawn, calculations rewritten. But what happened next changed everything. The first prototype, rolled out under a shroud of secrecy, barely moved. The ground itself trembled beneath its weight. Bridges cracked. Roads split open. And yet, the engineers pressed on. They believed in their vision. They believed it would win the war. The machine wasn't just massive. It was unpredictable. Engines overheated. Tracks twisted. Hydraulic systems failed under the immense weight. And then there was the human cost. Workers fell behind the machine, crushed under careless miscalculations. But the generals didn't care. They wanted headlines. They wanted terror. And that's when things started going wrong. The first test runs ended in disaster. The machine got stuck in mud. Explosions rocked the factory. Engineers fled as fire consumed years of work. And still, the project survived. Somehow. By 1945, Germany was collapsing. Allied troops were advancing from the west. Soviet forces pressed from the east. The Doomsday Machine disappeared. Some say it was destroyed in an air raid. Others whisper that it was hidden in underground tunnels. Even the surviving engineers gave conflicting stories. No photographs. No official documents. Only sketches and vague reports. Yet decades later, people claim to spot parts of it in abandoned military depots, buried in forests, or shipped mysteriously abroad. It became a ghost, a legend, a machine that might have existed, or might have been too terrifying to record. Was it genius? Was it madness? Some engineers argue the concept was sound. The design was decades ahead of its time. But in the end, scale defeated ambition. The world never saw it in battle. The war ended without it, yet the idea of a weapon so extreme, so massive, that it could disappear from history, continues to fascinate. It reminds us how far human ingenuity can go, and how easily it can vanish. The Nazi Doomsday Machine is more than just a war project. It's a story of obsession, ambition, and extreme engineering. It shows the thin line between innovation and destruction. And it leaves us asking, how many machines, projects, or technologies have been lost to history? Because they were too big, too advanced, or too dangerous to exist. Some say it's still out there, waiting to be rediscovered. And if you think about it, that possibility is more terrifying than any fiction. History forgot it. The world barely remembers it, but Iron Archive brings it back, piece by piece, story by story. If you want to uncover more machines that defied reason, were lost or disappeared, make sure you stay with us, because some of the most extreme machines humanity ever built are still hidden, waiting to be found.